nation. Hebrew kingdom building.
All right, y'all, we're going to talk about deception today. That's what we're going to talk about today, all right? I'm giving it away up front. So we didn't do too bad, y'all, you know. We did through. We're going to work on it. But we're trying to really tighten up on the management side of things, you know. The earlier, the closer we start on time, the better we can do overall time, you know what I'm saying? So, but all praise to the Most High. Let's go to Bereshit 37. Practice. All right, everybody there? All right, Bereshit 37, let's go.
Bereshit 37, verse 1. Now Yaakov dwelt in the land where his father was a stranger, in the land of Canaan.
All right, so Yaakov is dwelling in the land now. Got the land. Let's keep going.
This is the history of Yaakov. Yosef, being 17 years old, was feeding the flock with his brothers.
All right, so Yaakov is, they giving you, Yosef. So now now Yosef is on the scene. It's very interesting. So there's a lot of different, we're going through the generations, you know what I'm saying? We started off with Abraham. We really started off with Adam and Kawah. Then we just moved through the generations, you know. You saw Adam and Kawah, Adam and Eve. Then it kind of skipped and went through the genealogies up to Noach. Noach had, because Yahuwah started all over with Noach. Noach had Ham, Shem, and Japheth. Then the flood came. And then you had the situation where the table of nations where Ham, Shem, and Japheth, they were fruitful and multiplied. Their seed ended up becoming the 70 nations on the Eretz. And then it skipped to this person called Abraham, right? Then Yahuwah said, hey, Abraham, he made this covenant with Abraham. So he was starting all over with Abraham. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so then Abraham, you know, we saw the situation. He had Isaac and Ishmael, but the seed went through Ishmael. Isaac. I'm sorry. He started all over with Isaac. Then Isaac, you know, he went out to get his Isha. It's all about Kodesh seed, Rivka, and then Isaac had Jacob and Esau. Esau wasn't doing right. Yahuwah started all over with Yaakov, continued it with Yaakov instead of Esau. And then we see this situation where now Yaakov, he had got his wives. He went up there to Laban to get his wives and stuff like that. And you had the 12 tribes or the 12 sons that he birthed through them. You know what I'm saying? And so now now it's honing in. It's interesting, ain't it? You would have probably thought that it would hone in out of the 12 sons on somebody like Judah or somebody like that, you know, Levi. No, Yosef. Yosef is the one chosen to hone in on in this I would say journey through the Kodesh seed, through the Kodesh lineages. You see what I'm saying? Of the Most High. There wasn't no big focus on Yehuda like that. At first, starts off with Yosef, all right? So let's keep going. So now we see Yosef. He's the youngest one, too, because Benjamin wasn't born yet, was he? So this is the youngest one. They're just honing in on out of all the sons. All right, let's go.
And the lad was with the sons of Baal and the sons of Zilpah, his father's wives. And Joseph brought a bad report of them to his father. Now Israel loved Joseph more than all his children.
So maybe Benjamin was born by this time. Yeah, because Rachel, that was the last Torah portion when Rachel died. Yeah. Yeah, so Benjamin is here. All right, so let's read verse 3 again. No, let's read verse 2.
Sir. This is the history of Jacob. Joseph, being 17 years old, was feeding the flock with his brothers. And the lad was with the sons of Baal and the sons of Zilpah, his father's wives. And Joseph brought a bad report of them to his father.
All right. Joseph did what?
Got a bad report.
All right. I want us to hone in on this. We talked about this before. But when Joseph, he had brought a bad report to his father about the sons of the handmaidens, the sons of Bilhah and Zilpah. That Hebrew word is actually dibah. He was slandering them. That word means slander, dibah. So when Joseph went to his father and gave a bad report about his brothers, he was slandering them. He didn't just go to his father. It wasn't like he was going to his father reporting like accurate information. He didn't like his brothers. He was slandering them to his father. I submit he was using that he was his father's favorite to come against his brothers who he didn't get along with like that. You see what I'm saying? There's no time in all Torah that word was used positively at all in all the scriptures. Dibah is always used in a negative way. When the children of Israel came back from the promised land, when they spied out the land and they gave a bad report, that's dibah. You remember how false it was? Man, we grasshoppers, and hold up. We'll lose, we'll get whooped. They was lying. It wasn't a true report. It was a false report. See what I'm saying? There's other scriptures in there that, there's a scripture in Proverbs that talks about, if the slander and all that. It's dibah. That's what Joseph did. He was slandering his brothers. It wasn't like he was going and giving an accurate report of them. It might have had some truth in it. You know how it goes. And I thought about that, how my children be, for real. Oh, Anthony used to do that a whole lot. He'll come in there crying. He'll be screaming. I may be ready to go in. Zamar, Jaden, he did a 4-punch combo on my face. And I may be hot. Oh, no, Zamar, I'll be like, hold on, baby, hold on. Let's investigate this, hold on. It was about 20 witnesses who saw it. They all like, oh, nah, that wasn't nothing like that, nah. Nah, Anthony, he was over there being extra with Zamar. And Zamar like, stop hitting me, stop playing. And he kept playing, he wouldn't stop. And then Zamar did like this, like, man, get off me. And then Anthony fell down and bumped his head. He started crying, like, yeah, I'm going to tell.
Yeah. Blowed it up.
And it was 20 people who seen it. I'm exaggerating. But it was a bunch of people who like, yeah, that's all that happened. That's like, man. So then I'm looking at Anthony, I'm like, but no, he had pushed me hard though. No, go. Go get in that, go in that corner so we can talk some more. You gotta go do some wall sits. Something. You lying on your brothers. And what happened though, listen, this is real. What happened though is then his older brother started having like odds towards him. Right. Started having, resentment. No, he be always telling, he be, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I be reading this now after having children for a while. I'm like, man, I can see this. I can see this. Because children do that, for real. Children do that. So yeah, Joseph, he wasn't, my point is Joseph, he was not like innocent. You know, when it's talking about how his brothers hated him and all this, it wasn't like he just wasn't doing nothing. He was just, man, walking around chilling. They just hated him. You know what I'm saying? No, I think it was probably kind of a two-way street. Not saying that it was justified for them to be like they was to that level, but I'm saying he wasn't just blameless. Y'all get what I'm saying? He was doing stuff. All right, so keep that in mind. Oh, so the breakdown. So when you see the door can mean to access and to enter in, right? But also, we talked about this before, this is another aspect of the dollar, is that it can mean to exit or to leave out as well. That's how it is with the dollar. You can go in or come out of there. You see what I'm saying? And so that's about basically leaving out of the house due to a lack of reverence. Leaving out of the house or exiting the house due to a lack of reverence. The hay can mean the wind, the air, but it can also mean worship and reverence. You see what I'm saying? You know, even I think somebody here pointed that out. Even the dude with his hands up like that also is the idea of surrender too. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll submit. You know, like reverence. So that the hate can mean reverence or lack of reverence. That's all. That's the negative side of it. But another way to look at this is having little reverence for the door and the house. Having a lack of reverence for the door and the house. So the house is the tribe, the house, the assembly in this example. And what's the door to the house? Yeah, the head. The head of the assembly, the head of the house. So Yahusha, yeah, he's ultimately the door. But the heads of the assemblies are doors. In order to get into the assemblies, you have to go through the heads. You see what I'm saying? And so in a sense, it's also having a lack of reverence for the door and the house. It goes hand in hand together. Even the thing that was coming out with surrounding mockery, I knew that was probably gonna have something. I knew it was probably gonna have something to do with me, possibly, most likely, because what happens is when somebody has an issue with the way things are in the assembly, or is mocking the way Yahuwah has us doing things, they have a lack of reverence for the assembly. That's almost always gonna translate into me. You know what I'm saying? It's just how it goes. They have an issue with the Maleks, for example. That's usually a lot of times going to translate to me too. If they have an issue with the Most High, a lot of times that translates to me. You see what I'm saying? Or met, or both. You know what I'm saying? So, you know. But that's what causes slander, is a lack of reverence for the door and for the house. And also, people who move in that usually end up being exited out of the house due to the lack of reverence. You get what I'm saying? What happened with the people who gave the bad report? The people who gave the bad report, they came back and gave the bad report. Yahuwah spared the nation. But the actual people who gave the bad report, what happened to them? Yeah, Yahuwah cut them off. I think he struck them with a plague or something. He killed all of them. If I remember right. The only ones he kept the nation, but the people who actually gave the slanderous report, he cut them off. All right, so we following. All right, let's keep reading. Back to Bereshit 37.
Okay, verse 3. Now Israel loved Joseph more than all his children, because he was the son of his old age. Also, he made him a tunic of many colors.
All right, so Joseph was the child of his old age. He was the baby. He was the baby. So Benjamin was already born, huh? So Rachel already, yeah, okay. But I guess Benjamin must have been super young or something.
Yeah, because Rachel just died.
Yeah, that makes sense. Right, there you go. That's a through point. Yeah. So Joseph was the Ark. That was the son of his old age. So you can already, you can see the other brothers. Like, he get on my nerves. Know what I'm saying? Daddy Yaakov always be vouching for him, always be taking up for him, and he be doing all kind of stuff. He be lying and everything. He be starting stuff. They probably just had all kind of issues because they knew that was Dad's favorite. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Let's keep going.
Verse 4.
And listen, the sons of Bilhah. Think about them. Because remember, he didn't lie on all his brothers. He gave a bad report about the sons of Bilhah. So, and Zilpah, the sons of the handmaidens. So y'all, look, don't get it twisted. Joseph probably had some type of way toward them. Mm-hmm. Yeah, y'all ain't no real sons anyway.
Power trip.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's why Dad gave me the coat. I don't see you with the coat on, huh?
You know you only here because Mom didn't get pregnant.
What kind of coat you got on? I'm just asking, you feel me? I just, you know what I'm saying? For real. They probably was just like, oh, I hate him. Oh. And then he went and gave him a bad report. Let's keep going.
Verse 4. But when his brothers saw that their father loved him more than all his brothers, they hated him and could not speak peaceably to him.
So you can imagine they always talking crazy about him. They always trying to talk bad about him. They couldn't speak peaceably to him at all. Mm-hmm. So you can imagine all the arguments. Oh, man. I bet his mom and his parents was dealing with that a lot. Let's keep going.
Now Joseph had a dream, and he told his brothers, and he told it to his brothers, and they hated him even more. So he said to them, please hear this dream which I have dreamed.
Now remember, he probably already be stunting on them because he's the son. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. He probably already been doing that. Now he's coming with these dreams. Let's see how this first dream, verse 7.
There we were, binding sheaves in the field. Then behold, my sheaf arose and also stood upright. And indeed your sheaves stood all around and bowed down to my sheaf. And his brother said to him, shall you indeed reign over us?
So his brothers, they all knew how to interpret dreams. He knew exactly what that dream meant, huh? They like, man, what? The sheaf is interesting because the sheaf represents your works. You know what I'm saying? We were talking about the wheat and the tares and things like that. And this is the sheaf. This is your works that are gathered together and bundled up. And it was like theirs was circled around his and was bowing down to his sheaf. You know what I'm saying? Which is interesting because y'all know the sheaves that bow down are actually how you know that's the real sheaves. That's the real wheat. The ones that are upright is a terror. Is a terror, y'all. It's very interesting. But man, his brothers, they didn't like that. He's like, man, oh man, okay. Let's keep going.
Shall you indeed reign over us? Or shall you indeed have dominion over us? So they hated him even more for his dreams and for his words.
Man, so now the Most High confirming that, man, even that he's that person. They not liking that. Let's keep going.
Then he dreamed still another dream and told it to his brothers and said, look, I have dreamed another dream. This time the sun, the moon, and the 11 stars bowed down to me. So he told it to his father and his brothers. And his father rebuked him and said to him, what is this dream that you have dreamed? Shall your mother and I, your brothers indeed, come to bow down to the wretch before you? And his brothers envied him, but his father kept the matter in his mind.
Do not envy your brother or sister because of their dreams. Now, we done got the dream chat in there. And I know y'all see some of them visions. And yeah, I saw myself with a crown of gold. And then I was, and then I got lifted up. And then I heard, you are nobility or something, you know. Yeah, don't be sitting back being, man, I ain't getting no vision like that. I ain't getting no dreams like that. Like, man, hold on, man. What about me? You know, don't be like that. A celebrator. All praise to the Most High. All praise to Yahuwah. Because the thing is, see, his brothers didn't know at that time. They must have didn't realize that they were actually set apart to have dominion as well, to reign and rule as well. They were. These are the patriarchs of the 12 tribes of Yasharel, aren't they? And but they was focused on Yosef, you know. So they was focused on him, and they was mad about that. But the sun and moon and the 11 stars, these are, don't the scriptures say that Yahuwah created the greater lights to rule? To rule, that's literally the word mushal. To rule the day, and the lesser lights to rule the night, to mushal, to govern the night. So even in that dream, showing them as the sun, moon, and stars, was showing that they was going to be a people of dominion. Yeah, dominion in the Shamayim. And on the arrest, that's why the first dream was about the sheaves, so the stuff growing out of the ground. Dominion on the arrest. They had bundles of sheaves. That was showing that they was going to be bringing forth in abundance. They had bundles of sheaves. So much so that they surrounded his sheaf. You know, they could have looked at it. I'm just saying, they could have looked at these things differently. You see what I'm saying? Right. Yeah, the perspective.
They're focusing in the wrong place.
Showing that the Most High was going to give them dominion on the Eretz. They was going to bring forth abundance of a yield, dominion on the Eretz, and dominion in the Shamayim, the sun, moon, and stars. Yahuwah had also created the sun, moon, and stars for what? Oh, that's one thing. Come on,
What do you make the sun, moon, and stars for?
the appointed time. Oh, yeah. Hallelujah. For the appointed time. So it's showing that the appointed times surround around Yasharel, that we are the appointed times. Let's keep reading. So yeah, after that dream, it seemed like that after them dreams, that was it. They was just done.
Okay, verse 13. And Israel said to
Verse
Yosef.
12.
Sorry about that. Then his brothers went to feed their father's flock in Shechem.
Where at?
In Shechem.
All right. So y'all remember what happened in Shechem, right? Man, Shechem, it must be some ruachs over there, some violence or something, because now this is surrounding around when they're going to sell out their brother in the same area or same region or same place where they had killed all them people for their sister. But you notice they still had that, they had, Shechem was theirs now. So after they sacked all the people of Shechem, now that's their land now. Y'all say that? The Most High expanded their territory. So he had all his flocks over there, still over there, and that's where they were managing them at, supposed to be managing them at. All right, let's go. Keep reading.
And Israel said to Yosef, are not your brothers feeding the flock in Shechem? Come, I will send you to them. And he said,
they had crazy dominion. This is their land now. Keep going.
So he said to him, here I am. Then he said to him, please go and see if it is well with your brothers and well with the flocks, and bring back word to me. So he sent him out of the valley of Hebron, and he went to Shechem. Now a certain man found him, and there he was, wandering in the field. The man asked him, saying, "What are you seeking?" So he said, "I'm seeking my brothers. Please tell me where they are feeding their flocks." And the man said, "They have departed from here, for I heard them say, 'Let us go to Dothan.'" So Joseph went after his brothers and found them in Dothan. Now when they saw him afar off, even before he came near them, they conspired against him to kill him.
They did what?
Conspired.
So, man, they developed a conspiracy. They conspired against him. So that word is actually the word nakal actually means deceiver, crafty. It's 5230 and 5231, I believe. It's two. I think 5231 is the root word, I believe, something like that. Same word, different vowel points, but it means deceiver, crafty. It's basically like they were looking to deceive him. They were developing like a crafty counsel against him. Nakal. So the breakdown of Nakal, it's about the seed giving away its authority. It's literally about the seed giving away its authority. Y'all get it? The seed, the hand to give or to receive, give away the staff. In other words, it's about the seed giving away its staff. You right on it, Radayahu. The seed giving away its staff, giving away its authority. That's usually the root of all the major deceptions. It's about you giving away your authority. It's about you giving away your staff. Your staff also represents what? Your lineage, your tribe. Like Radah said, your birthright, etc. Those who are deceived many times give their authority away. For example, the church. When they try to tell you, do not keep the commandments, you don't have to do that, all that don't matter no more. They use different ways to get you to give away to forfeit your birthright. Malek Yahusha talked about this, how the Christianity is literally the religion of Esau, literally. It's the religion of Esau. The whole goal is to get you to give up your birthright. Well, let me put it this way. The whole goal is to take the birthright of Yasharel. So that's why all these Christian denominations, they say they the real Israel. Spiritual Israel, Jehovah's Witnesses, they're like, nah, we're the real Israel. Spiritual Israel. Yeah. That's us. The real Israel doesn't matter anymore. They'll go door to door. And you know who they'll get a lot to go and say that? They're going to get you. They're going to get Hebrews. They go door to door, and they say, we're the real Israel now. Y'all got to read between the lines when they talk, and that's what they saying without saying it, for real. That's literally what they saying. Seventh-day Adventists, all the denominations, that's Christianity. Catholicism literally has their own imitation Levitical priesthood. The Pope is an imitation high priest. He is. They do incense. They got their temple is in Rome. The biggest enemy of Yasharel is where the heart of the epicenter is at. Is in Rome. So that's just giving you because it's all about deception. It's all about deceiving. It's all about you giving away your authority. Even with Adam and Eve, y'all, Adam and Kawah, the serpent came and deceived Eve. Y'all know when they sinned, they gave up all their authority. They had all authority and dominion on the earth. And the serpent, his goal was to try to get them to give up their authority. Y'all know when they sinned, that gave authority over to Hasatan? Why do you think he was trying to deceive them? Before then, all the authority was given to Adam and Kawah. They had all authority and dominion on the Eretz. And when they sinned, they gave the authority over to, ever since then, yeah, the authority, Hasatan pretty much has authority. That's why the scriptures call him the prince of the air. We got to understand that. That's why he's called that. That's why all the nations are given over to Hasatan. There's not no nation that's like given over to Yahuwah. It's not a thing. Why do you think that? All the nations are given over to Hasatan because he's the one who has the authority on the Eretz right now. Because Adam and Kawah gave over their authority, he deceived them. The seed gave away their authority. Y'all see how important it is not to be deceived? But the list goes on and on and on. The list goes on and on and on. When it comes to deceivers, it's all about authority. It's about the seed also trying to have more authority. It's about the seed trying to have more authority. That's another aspect of it. See what I'm saying? Korah, why did he do that big rebellion? Why did he deceive? You know, Korah deceived a lot of people to follow him. Moshe, he don't know what he's talking about. Follow me. I know what I'm doing. Watch this. And they're like, yeah, we're going to follow you. He deceived all them people, y'all. And Korah, the whole reason why he was moving like that is because he was trying to get more authority. He wanted the authority of Moshe. He wanted that. Nah, I should be up there. I'm the one who should have that role. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing this. I've been Moshe's fourth head for way too long. I've been dealing with this for way too long. And he's going all these different places. He's talking about Yahuwah told him to do this. Yahuwah speaks to me too. I get dreams. I had a dream and it came to pass. Yahuwah speaks to me too.
Hey, come on. Right. You ain't the only one.
You know what? I'm done with this. And he starts talking to the people. I should be up there with Moshe, man. I'm telling y'all, if it was me, we would be in the promised land.
Right.
Chilling, eating grapes. Yeah, for real. And went up there and what the Most High had to show what's up, what was going on. You see what I'm saying? But again, the goal was to try to get more authority. The same thing with Hasatan. What did Hasatan say? He said, I want to be like the Most High. Hasatan was, Yahuwah had lifted Hasatan all the way up. That's in Ezekiel 28. We went through it plenty of times. Yahuwah had lifted Hasatan all the way up. It says that Hasatan, he was blessed above all the Malachim in a sense. He was dripped and draped down with jewels and enamored with precious stones, and he was beautiful, and he was in charge of the worship, and that wasn't enough. Like, nah, I'm trying to be like the Most High. Right. This is through. But, it goes into discontentment. How are you discontent? And you second up from you right there with the Most High every day worshiping. You right there. You got access to the Most High on a regular. Most High done blessed you tremendously. How are you not content? Well, I'm through, but I'm not as through as the Most High. Look at how much he got. I want that. What do y'all think happened to Eve, y'all? What did Hasatan tell Eve? What did the serpent tell Eve? Listen, if you sin, if you go against the Most High's word, you will be like a lure. You'll get more authority. You'll be like a lure. They had everything, didn't they? What they discontent about? What they was tripping about? But they had somebody come, and he was a deceiver. He was crafty, the serpent, and started whispering to him. She probably wasn't worried about it at first. But then it's like, oh, man, for real, though, I can be like a lure. Maybe that's why the Most High didn't want us to eat that, because, man, I've been wanting to eat that for a long time. It looks so through. Yahuwah literally let them eat anything, all the other trees you can eat. Just don't eat this one. That's all. All the other ones you threw, they had everything, y'all. But because of that one, Hasatan was able to get them with that one. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get her. He probably was looking from the back. He probably was looking like hiding, looking from the back though, and watching how she kept looking at it. She kept looking at that tree. She go out there in meditation and she be walking and she be looking back a lot, looking at that tree. Looking at that tree, man. I was not like, oh yeah, I got her. I just need to catch her by herself. I just got to make sure Adam ain't around because I know he ain't gonna let that. Adam, he ain't gonna budge. He ain't gonna. If I can get her, I can get to Adam though. If I can get to her. Why don't you just eat the fruit? Why not? The Most High said, "Oh, did he really say that? I mean, really, what it is." If you eat that, you're going to be more like a lure. That's what it is. That's why it's so important to be content where Yahuwah has you. There's a difference between being content and being complacent, okay? Being content means you are in shalom in your home. You are in shalom where Yahuwah has you, but you still striving to always be better at what you're doing, always move forward and make sure you're serving Yahuwah with a whole heart. You get what I'm saying? Yes, complacent is, you in your position or whatever, or you where Yahuwah has you, and you're like lazy about it. You're like, yeah, whatever, this is what it is. There's not a whole lot of reverence for it. That's when it turns into complacency. All right. Let's keep going. Keep reading. Verse 19, I think.
Then they said to one another, look, this dreamer is coming. Come, therefore, let us now kill him and cast him into some pit. And we shall say, some wild beast has devoured him.
So it's this whole thing surrounding deception. We got this whole idea of how we're gonna do this, and then we'll lie, and it'll be through. It'll be perfect. But in verse 19 it says, then they said to one another, look, this dreamer is coming. So there's something hidden in the Hebrew they didn't put in the English. I was kind of surprised, but it actually, they were calling him Baal.
Oh, yeah, they sure did.
Yeah, they were calling him Baal. And I submit they were doing it as mockery. It was mockery, y'all. Because Baal means owner, master, husband, Lord. You get what I'm saying?
The master of the dreams, the Lord of the dreams.
Yeah, like,
Yeah, I see it.
yeah.
Oh, that's gold right there.
And so, Baal, so Baal, it also, y'all know that Baal is one of the biggest allures that Israel struggled with worshiping. Baal was also the name of another allure that Israel struggled with because they were very into worshiping Baal. Baal means Lord. That's why in Christianity, they say Lord. Yeah, no, we're going to get this word out. All right.
Which one you recording on? All four?
We do either one? Okay. Hallelujah. But Baal, Christianity, that's why they say Lord. Even though they know in the Hebrew it don't say nothing like that. But it's because Christianity is associated with Baal worship. That's why Christianity is probably the number one religion we struggle the most with, Yasharel. Listen, even in Yasharel, a lot of us still be moving in Christianity. We just say we Israelites. For real. That's why a lot of people struggle with stuff like, oh no, they're opening up. So what allure are you following? What Bible are you following if you calling the leaders wicked because they opening up something that's clearly in the scriptures? See what I'm saying? Trying to show y'all something. There was another master that they had because Baal is associated with having another husband other than Yahusha, having another master. You see what I'm saying? No, your devotion, that's see, when it comes to stuff like this, that's when the rubber meets the road. That's when you see who your master really is, when things like that pop up. Wow. They were not fully under Yahusha as their master. It was true, it's real. It's real. They were still sealed to Babylon. And there's a lot of reasons why that happened. See, you can't see people's heart, man. You can't see people's heart. But there's a lot of reasons why that can happen. Especially if you're doing well in Babylon. You like it here, man. I'm well. Man, I got everything I need, man. I got my big crib, man. I was able to make a through living. I'm making a lot of money. I ain't trying to pray against Babylon. I'm doing well here. So you're not trying to pray against Babylon, even if Yahuwah is specifically saying to do that, even if the function of his people was literally supposed to come here and to declare against the nation that done our people a certain way for all these years? Listen, if you are literally sent here from the Shamaim to be a witness against a nation that has been one of the most wicked kingdoms ever that have been on the earth, but the Most High bless you to where you're able to at least do well while you're here. You see how crazy that is to flip the script on the Most High and be like, oh, man, I ain't trying to do that. I like it here. Man, look here. Be like them church. That's church. I'm going to be like Pastor Wilbur. Pray for America. Pray for America, for real. Baal. Yahusha is supposed to be the bridegroom. Adonai, master, not Lord, Baal. Go to Hosea chapter 2. I think it's Hosea chapter 2. Let's see here. Man, y'all are doing through. Y'all listening. This is a blessing. We make sure we start on time every Shabbat, boy. All right, let's see. Hosea chapter 2.
Is it Old Testament or New Testament?
And I believe it's like verse 16 or something like that. Let me see. It's toward the end. Let's start with verse 13. Okay? All right, let's start with verse 13. Let's do it. Hosea chapter 2. My bad, are y'all there? I'll give them a little second. How come you don't use a phone Bible? It's faster. A phone Bible.
All right, everybody there? I will punish her for the days of the Baals to which she burned incense.
See, you petitioning to another master. You have another head. You have another bridegroom other than Yahusha. Keep going.
She decked herself with her earrings and jewelry, went after her lovers.
And went after her lover. That means that she meaning, Yasharel, the bride, is going after another husband. You see what I'm saying? It's going after another man, another master. Keep going.
But me.
But who?
But me.
Who's me? I know we didn't read the whole chapter. Okay, so y'all following it, even though we didn't go to the whole chapter. It's talking about Yahuwah and Yasharel. I know Hosea is particularly focused on the northern kingdom, but this still applies to all of Yasharel as well. You can still see how this can apply. Let's keep going.
But me she forgot, says Yahuwah.
This is what happens. See, we'll go back to verse 13. It says, I will punish her for the days of the Baals, to which she burned incense. She decked herself with her earrings and jewelry. She was doing well under Baal. She felt like she was doing through. And so she went after that instead of Yahuwah. But me she forgot, says Yahuwah. Verse 14.
Therefore, behold, I will allure her and bring her into the wilderness and speak comfort to her.
This is where we at. Remember, we're in the wilderness of the peoples.
Wow. Verse 15. I will give her vineyards from there in the valley of Anchor as a door of hope. She shall sing there as in the days of her youth, as in the day when she came up from the land of Mizraim. And it shall be in that day, says Yahuwah, that you will call me my husband.
Y'all following this? There will be a time, says Yahuwah, that you, meaning Yasharel, meaning us, will call me, meaning Yahuwah, will call Yahuwah what?
My husband.
He said there will be a day when this will happen. Why was he saying that? Because at the time, their husband was Babylon. Their husband was Baal. Turn that. But now looking at the breakdown of Baal, how do you know who your husband is? Who your master is? You see what I'm saying? Who your Adon is? Oh, go ahead.
The house experiencing the shepherd, I believe.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I got. Anybody else got something? Well, that's close to what I got. I have a house. It's about the house knowing the shepherd intimately. It's like intimately knowing the shepherd. So the ayin can also mean to know, but intimately know. Not know like I have the knowledge of, but to intimately know, like a husband and wife. You get what I'm saying? So it's the house that intimately knows the shepherd. But another way to look at this is a house that intimately knows Torah. Because the staff is also surrounds around an instruction and teaching. A house that knows Torah, Mishpachim. This is how you can, the way you can determine what master you're under is the instructions that see, that's a yoke, y'all. That's the staff is also symbolized as a yoke, like who the instructions you are following, who you are yoked to, meaning your walk. So if you are yoked to a strong leader, to a Rosh of Yahusha, to a Rosh of Yahuwah, Yahusha's really the master. See what I'm saying? So think about, I'm trying to paint a picture. Okay, the landowner, that's Yahusha. He's the landowner. He owns the land. And then you have the strong leader or the strong leader or the Rosh is the leader, like the heads of the assemblies. And then you would be the person yoked to the strong leader of the master. You would be yoked to that leader. Get what I'm saying? And so you have the master. He already, so the strong leader already has the instructions of the master in him. So all the master has to do is to oversee, but the strong leader already, he has it downloaded in him. The master done already trained the strong leader. All he has to do is oversee to make sure everything is tight. He might have to get the staff and be, oh yeah, that's just a little bit that way, that's through. And as he does the work and plows the field. And whoever is yoked to that strong leader is through. His master is who? Yeah, his master is that landowner. Whoever's yoked to that strong leader. And that strong leader is gonna move wherever the master wants him to move. He's gonna move according to his instructions, the Torah. And so you'll know who is of a different master other than Yahusha. He's gonna be moving in a different Torah. He's gonna be moving in a different Torah. He's gonna say something like, oh yeah, even though the Torah don't say nothing like that. Christianity say that though. He's of another master. He's of another head. Oh man, we don't gotta keep them feast days. We don't gotta do none of that type of stuff, man. That don't line up with Torah. He probably of another master. You know what I'm saying? If you dig down deep, you probably realize, oh yeah, I really just ain't trying to keep the feast days because my job and stuff like that, and because things like he's bound to Babylon. That's his master. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to get to the real reason why people are spouting stuff that they spouting, because you'll be like, why you say that when it don't line up with scriptures? Why the scriptures show right here, whoop, 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 so why are you so gung-ho about this? Then you get to the meat of it. Oh, yeah, you're going to have to actually change a lot in your life if you align with this. I get it. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you're going to have to sacrifice some stuff if you actually wanted to align with this. You just have a different master. You just submitted to it. You have a different husband. And we've seen this in the tribes. Like, look, your physical husband a lot of times will reflect that. If you have a physical husband that's in the world, we were talking about this yesterday, or it was last night on the prep day call with Abigail and Nabal. Nabal, he was wicked. He was of the world, so it was just like Abigail, even though she was righteous, it was like she was still under a wicked husband. So it was like she was still in the world. She was under the authority of Babylon in a sense. But because she was righteous, because she was so righteous and so blameless, Yahuwah separated her from that situation to actually judge him and freed her from Babylon physically. Your physical husband, listen, your physical husband is supposed to be literally a representative of Yahusha to you. He's supposed to be like Yahusha to you, y'all, for real. It's either going to be that, or you'll have maybe like a wicked husband who's going to be like the world to you. You literally will be like in captivity as a bride, for real. As a wife, you can be righteous, doing your thing, but if your husband is of the world, it'll literally be like you're in captivity. We've seen this. Because your husband is a physical representation of the master that you're under. That's why the scriptures talk about stuff like not being equally yoked and things like that, because, look, if you are righteous in Kodesh, and then you marry somebody who's joined to Babylon, but you joined to Yahuwah, you could get him cut out. Because if he moves a certain way with you, if he acts a certain way towards you, and he subdues you, and he ends up being has you in a type of captivity where you can't serve Yahuwah the way you're supposed to, like how that relationship that Yahuwah wants with his daughter, what y'all think what can happen? Yeah, and we're gonna see this here shortly. But it happened plenty of times in the scriptures. Baal is associated with Babylon. It's associated with Babylon. Baal is. If you're joined to Babylon, if you didn't come out of her, you're joined to Baal. You have another master. You have another Lord other than Yahusha. You might as well go to church and be like, thank you, Lord. You might as well. Yeah. Because that's what Christianity is, a way to be able to still have a way to try to serve the Most High without having to leave Babylon. That's what Christianity is. This is what Christianity tells you. Listen, you can still serve the Most High and still be joined to Babylon. You can still serve the Most High without coming out of Babylon. Don't believe what Yirmiyahu and the other prophets in the Bible. Don't worry about the Old Testament. Don't read that, okay? You can be joined to America. You can be like, Alua, bless America. They be saying G-O-D, bless America. You can do all that and still serve the Most High. That's the deception of Christianity, and that's why it's so enticing, though. Man, I don't got to give up my basketball. I don't got to give up nothing. I don't got to, man, hold up.
My way.
I can still hit up the club and everything, what? And still serve the Most High? Oh, yeah, this is what it is right here. Man, look, y'all be doing too much over there. The Israelites be doing too much, man. I'm going to be over here at this church. Church even says you can move in sin and still serve the Most High. Listen, I know this is a stretch, but it's real. It's just reality. Churches even say you can move in abominations and still serve the Most High. I know there's some churches that say they don't move in that, but there are churches that do. There are churches that do, and y'all know that even the ones that don't move in that, I kind of wonder how they can get around it, because y'all say the law done away with. So the homosexual preachers have an argument with y'all who are against it, because y'all said the law done away with, though. You know, I'm just saying. Yeah, they have an argument against y'all. They couldn't say nothing to us, but y'all have an argument against the churches who are against it because they're saying the law's done away with. That's the case they're making. Well, the law's done away with. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the stuff about, homosexuality, that's Torah, but that's done away with. So, I mean, we love the Most High. Why not? They said they love, Caesar Borgia, they love. Why not? And so you have whole churches that are flourishing in Atlanta. I don't know about anywhere else, but I know in Atlanta. All right, let's go back to Bereshit 37. Go ahead and I'm gonna read. We're gonna go to Bereshit 37. I'm gonna read 1 Timothy 4:1. Y'all don't gotta go there. 1 Timothy 4:1. All right. It says, now the Ruach expressly says that in latter times some will depart from the faith, from emunah. Some will depart from it, giving heed to deceiving spirits and doctrines of demons. Remember, the staff is a teaching and instruction and a doctrine as well. Giving heed to deceiving spirits and doctrines of demons. Look at this, verse 2. Speaking lies in hypocrisy, having their own conscience seared with a hot iron. I mean, basically, they're hardened. We talked about that last night. They're hardened. They're deceived. Forbidden to marry. Verse 3. Forbidding to marry. So, yeah, I know. I'm just saying, I know. Forbidden to marry. Oh, man, that's evil. That's wicked. Even though it's all through the scriptures, it's wicked. It'd be so crazy that in Catholic churches, I think they have a thing where there's certain people who they just not allowed to marry at all. It's the priest. Yeah.
Like, how your lineage supposed to?
And they took it to a whole nother level. Now, not only is it evil, it is wicked for a priest to marry at all. And so they had this thing where the priests don't marry. And y'all know what happens. Y'all know it's all kind of, sexual immorality that happens and perversion because of that. Because that wasn't from the Most High, so then that breeds all kind of issues.
That's right.
Forbidden to marry, and commanding to abstain from foods which Yahuwah created to be received with Todah by those who believe and know the truth. All right, let's go to Bereshit 37. All right, let's keep going.
Verse 19.
Yeah.
Start there. Then they said to one another, look, this dreamer is coming. Come therefore, let us now kill him and cast him into some pit. So some wild beast has devoured him. We shall see what will become of his dreams. But Reuben heard it, and he delivered him out of their hands and said, let us not kill him. And Reuben said to them, shed no blood, but cast him into this pit which is in the wilderness, and do not lay a hand on him, that he might deliver him out of their hands and bring him back to his father. So it came to pass, when Joseph had come to his brothers, that they stripped Joseph of his tunic, the tunic of many colors that was on him. Then they took him and cast him into a pit, and the pit was empty. There was no water in it.
There was no water in it. Keep going.
They sat down to eat a meal. Then they lifted their eyes and looked, and there was a company of Ishmaelites coming to Gilead with their camels, bearing spices, balm, and myrrh, and on their way to carry them down to Egypt. So Judah said to his brothers, what profit is there if we kill our brother and conceal his blood? Come, let us sell him to the Ishmaelites, and let not our hands be upon him. For he is our brother and our flesh.
So y'all notice, hold on. So y'all notice that they wanted to cast him into, his brothers wanted to cast him into a pit, right? First they wanted to kill him, but then Judah came up with the idea of no, let's just no. Then they wanted to cast him into a pit. So and then Judah came up with the idea, let's sell him into captivity. Y'all remember over the years when I was telling y'all that captivity equals death? This scripture is establishing the principle how captivity is related to death. That's what it's doing. Because they wanted to kill him, remember? They're like, let's kill him. And Judah said, no, let's not do that. Why, man, not gonna profit. How we gonna profit by that? Let's sell him into slavery. But according to the scriptures, symbolically, slavery is death. So really, it's the same thing. See what I'm saying? That's why when he got sold into slavery, what happened? They ended up killing a goat. Yeah, they killed a goat. This is the deception. They killed a goat. They brought the coat to Ab. They said, hey, you saw how they was playing dumb? Oh man, I get over. Oh, when people do that. Hey, so, yeah, who coat is this? I don't even know, but what coat is this? Hey, y'all go like, oh no, that is, snap. Yeah, he must have got killed by beasts. So now, in his mind, Joseph is dead. See what I'm saying? Right. But he actually is, because he's been sold into captivity. So see how this passage is establishing that principle that we've been talking about for a long time, that captivity is equal to a death, according in the scriptures. You also see this, Yaakov is going through this similar deception again. How did he deceive his dad, Isaac? Didn't he put on this nice garment that his mama made him out of the goat skin? Right. Then you'll think you're Esau and you'll get the blessing. Wasn't a goat killed for that too? You see how this works? Man, it's like, Yaakov can't get a break. It's like it keeps coming back to him multiple times, the deception that he did to his brother. He deceived his dad. His dad couldn't see that well. He put on that garment. His dad thought he was Esau, and he got the birthright. He got the blessing of Esau. Oh snap! Deceive. Oh man, it's about trying to get the birthright. Oh snap! Y'all know that even the word Yaakov actually means supplanter, which could mean kind of like a, like a deceiver. Remember his brother was like, yeah, his name is rightfully so Yaakov, for he has, tricked me out of my birthright. Yeah. Yeah, it's about the seed trying to get that birthright. The seed trying to get more authority, and it's also about a seed giving up authority. Esau gave up authority, gave up his birthright through the deception, while at the same time, Yaakov received authority, received the birthright through the deception. And so now, Yaakov is dealing with this again. Now it's his sons doing him like this, man. And he don't know. He just think in his mind he's dead. Let's keep going.
Okay, verse 28. Then Midianite traders passed by. So the brothers pulled Joseph up and lifted him out of the pit and sold him to the Ishmaelites for 20 shekels of silver. And then they took Joseph to Egypt. Then Reuben returned to the pit, and indeed Joseph was not in the pit, and he tore his clothes. And he returned to his brothers and said, the lad is no more, and I, where shall I go? So they took Joseph's tunic, killed a goat of the goats, killed a kid of the goats, and dipped the tunic in the blood. Then they sent the tunic of many colors. They brought it to their father and said, we have found this. Do you know whether it is your son's tunic or not?
They wild for that, boy.
Man, it's wicked there. And he recognized it and said, it is my son's tunic. A wild beast has devoured him. Without doubt, Joseph was torn to pieces. Then Jacob tore his clothes, put sackcloth on his waist, and mourned for his son many days.
All right, so let's go and let's look at 1 Kings 16. No, we won't go there. Let's go to Genesis 38. Let's go to the next chapter. All right, Bereshit 38, let's start with verse 1.
It came to pass at that time that Judah departed from his brothers and visited a certain Adonijah.
Okay, so all this happened now. Now it's honing in on Judah. Now Joseph, he done got sold. He done sold in slavery. Now that the Torah flips to Judah, who was the one who gave the great idea to sell him Joseph into slavery. So, all right, all this through, man, Joseph, boy, he used to get on my nerve. He gone now. But now Judah, he done left because they have dominion out here, y'all. After they sacked Shechem, it's like the Most High gave them great dominion over that area. And so it's like now they the big dogs out there. They the big dogs in Canaan. And so it came to pass at that time. What time? This is around the time when all that happened to Joseph. You get what I'm saying? That Judah left from his brothers, and he visited a certain Adulamite whose name was what?
Hira.
So Hira actually means a family of nobility. So this is just showing y'all that, they were the big dogs out there. So he left and he went to these people of nobility in Canaan. So they were probably cool with all the top dogs out there, with all the big money makers out there. You see what I'm saying? With all the high-ranked families out there. They didn't want no problems with them. Oh, y'all see how they did Shechem and them? Nah, we need to make sure we cool with them. Verse 2.
And Judah saw there a daughter of a certain Canaanite whose name was Shua. And he married her.
So Shua literally means wealth. Shua literally means wealth in Hebrew. So I'm just trying to give y'all an idea of what's going on here. Like these are the sons of Yaakov were big dogs in Canaan. They hanging with the rich and wealthy. So much so that he was gonna go on and marry one of the Kardashians.
That's a great example.
Yeah. He went on and got with one of the Kardashians. You know what I'm saying? Straight out of Canaan. He messed up. Because think about it. All throughout history, Yahuwah had them go back to their family to get a wife.
Yeah.
All throughout their lineage, they never were supposed to marry amongst the Canaanites.
Mm-hmm.
So this is showing you how rebellious they was. They knew better than that. Judah, your mama Leah, what you doing? See, marrying somebody ain't nothing like your mama. You wasn't raised like that. Didn't make no sense. And so he went, but y'all know what he was probably looking at. He was looking at that glitz and glamour. See what I'm saying? So he went on and married a Canaanite woman. Her name was Wealth. Her name was Shua. But I don't know. See, when y'all read the scriptures, one thing, this is Israelites do this, and that's why I think that may be a possibility that the names in there is really about how they was moving, other than maybe they're like real physical what they mama named them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, you growing up, you got your homeboy, his mama named him Jimmy, but we call him Little Jughead. Or like, we had a homeboy, I forgot what his mama called him because I don't even remember his real name anymore. But we just called him Chi-Town because he was from Chicago. That's what Israelites do. And that was his name to us. It was based off something sort of aspect or some sort of feature about the person. See what I'm saying? So we probably don't know. I wouldn't be surprised. We probably don't know what their mama actually called some of these people in the scriptures. We just know what we, the Hebrews, were calling them. See what I'm saying? Y'all get it? Yeah, so. All right, let's keep going.
Okay. And Judah saw there a daughter of a certain Canaanite whose name was Shua, and he married her and went into her.
Yeah, he was tripping, y'all. He was tripping. So he married her? Man, you wifed her? Dang. Wildin'. Verse 3.
So she conceived and bore a son, and he called his name
So so that's Ayin Resh. If you flip those letters around, what would that say? Ra. Resh Ayin. That means evil. Y'all see that? Verse 4.
She conceived again and bore a son, and she called his name Onan. And she conceived yet again and bore a son, and called his name Shelah. He was a Chazeel when she bore him. Then Judah took a wife for his firstborn, and her name was Tamar.
So Tamar, that word is very close to Tamim. It means palm tree, but palm tree in the scriptures a lot of times has a connotation of being through, of flourishing, and things like that. So Tamar was Kodesh. So Judah, I guess he tried to make up for it. He's like, all right, I'm gonna get a Kodesh. I'm gonna find somebody Kodesh to marry my son. I'm gonna find somebody Kodesh for my son, for my firstborn. And so he went and got a Kodesh woman. But remember I told y'all, yeah, but you gotta be careful because when you get a Kodesh woman of the Most High, she can't be with somebody who's joined to Babylon. You endangering the person, the dude. She can't be with somebody who's still joined to Baal, because then she'll be like in a captivity, and then she cry out, and the Most High is going to respond to that. You see what I'm saying? You putting him in danger. And it's pretty evident that, again, Judah, he wasn't around his family when he had these children. It looks like he was out somewhere in Canaan kind of doing his own thing, kind of started trying to build his own family. He found a wife of Canaan and just kind of wanted to be established himself after they sold off Joseph. And so his children probably didn't grow up in the truth. You get what I'm saying? They grew up in Canaan. They probably went to public school and everything. Canaanite public school. And they was not in the truth. And so, because of that, what happened? Keep reading.
Verse 7. But Judah's firstborn, was wicked in the sight of Yahuwah.
Was wicked. Is that Ra? Does that say Ra? I don't know. I'm just guessing. There you go. So that's a play on words. Iron Resh, was Ra. Resh Iron. You see what I'm saying? In the sight of Yahuwah. And Yahuwah did what?
Killed him.
Yeah, just like what we were talking about last night with Nabal and Abigail. What did Yahuwah do to Nabal? Yes. Literally, Abigail came to tell him the news, and it was like she declared against him when she did that. The scriptures say she told him the news, hey, David was finna come kill you, but I got in the way, so we threw now. To him, oh man, it said his heart just stopped, and he just fell like a stone or something, it said. And then he died 10 years later. It says Yahuwah struck him, that's what it says. Yahuwah struck him, and he died in 10 days later. And so you had Nabal, somebody who was Ra, he was wicked. The scripture said he was Ra too. But he was with Abigail, who was Kodesh, who was righteous. So she didn't end up, all that ended up happening was she ended up being a witness against him, and that just caused him to get judged. You see what I'm saying? Y'all know that these nations wouldn't be able to be judged by the Most High probably if we weren't here in captivity. It's us being here in captivity under the wicked master, under Babylon, is what caused them to be ripe for judgment now. So you see how crazy that is to be talking about let's pray for America for real. Right. You understand that you're the reason why who was trying to judge them? It's on your behalf. It's out of your love for you. It means what?
I was saying it's just like he judged Mitzrayim because his people were there.
Oh, Judge Mitzrayim. Yes. 2 point. Same thing with Mitzrayim. It was because they were there. That's what caused them to be ripe for judgment. Even Sodom and Gomorrah. Lot and his family was there, y'all. I don't know if Sodom and Gomorrah would have got judged like that if Lot and his family wasn't there. They served as a witness against him. You know what the sign of that was? It was when the Sodomites came up to Lot and was like, yeah, he's trying to act as a judge over us. That was it. That was the Ruach pointing it out. Yeah. He's the judge against y'all. He's the witness against y'all. It's because of Lot why this place is being judged. Now, that place been around for like hundreds of years. Y'all know Sodom and Gomorrah was there for about 400 years? Sodom and Gomorrah was established there longer than America's been established before Yahuwah did that. But it wasn't until Lot and them came in there, moved in there, Most High like, yeah, I'm going to judge them. Let's keep reading.
Verse 8. And Judah said to Onan, go into your brother's wife and marry her.
Now listen.
And raise
Hold on. Now that's the Torah of the Levirate marriage. That's Torah though. You talking to people who not in the, your son's not in the truth because you didn't raise them up with your family like you should have. You didn't raise them up with Yaakov and them. You was trying to do your own thing. You married who you know Yaakov and them wouldn't want you to marry. That's why he had to get away. See, because if he would have been over there with his family, they would have told him about it. So they would have been on top of him too much. He didn't want to hear that. Right. So he went and did his own thing, but he's still trying to raise them up in Torah. I'm gonna try to I'm trying to make sure my son has a Kodesh wife, because that's his son. He loves him. But his son ain't ready to move, ain't ready for nothing like that. So then he still tried to move according to Torah. Okay, Onan, go into so you can have an heir for heir. Oh man, that's crazy. Go into Tamar so you can have an heir for heir. An heir for Onan wasn't trying to hear that because somebody who go to a Christian and talk to them about the Levirate marriage, they're gonna be like, they're gonna think that's crazy. I'm telling you, it's gonna be just as bad as you talk to them about. They're gonna think that's sin and wicked, and that's Torah. That's what happened. Oh, now like, oh no, yeah, I want to marry her because she's beautiful, man. Tamar, y'all know Tamar probably beautiful. She was Kodesh seed, you know what I'm saying? So, oh yeah, okay, I'll do that. But the scriptures say because he knew that the seed was going to actually be heir for his brother that passed, so he moved deceptively. He probably acted like he was going to move according to Torah. Dad, I'm going to do it. And then he had spilled his seed on the side. You see what I'm saying? You can imagine Dad probably after a year, yeah, so what's going on? We're trying to get an heir for my son, you know, so he can have his inheritance. I don't even know, Dad. I don't know what's going on. We working on this thing. Most I was like, yeah, nah. Killed him too. For real. This stuff, man. This stuff about Kodesh seed ain't no joke. What we're reading in chapter 38 is the process of producing Kodesh seed. And because he had this seed from the wrong woman, this is the significance of the woman, y'all. I submit the reason why Er and Onan didn't make the cut to be able to be a part of the lineage of Judah is because Judah married the wrong women, the wrong lady to have these sons with. The woman is just as important as the male when it comes to bringing forth Kodesh seed. Yeah, that's what the camp dudes were giving me an issue about. On that car. But it's right here. The woman is just as important as the male when it comes to that. You can't just marry anybody and think you're going to bring forth Kodesh seed. So we know what happened, right? So what happened was Tamar, in her wisdom, did what? Oh, this whole Torah portion surrounds around deception. Tamar, in her wisdom, did this. She did. Isn't this about the seed giving away the staff? Okay, let's read. Y'all see what I'm talking about. Let's read reading.
Verse 8.
Yes, sir.
Judah said to Onan, go into your brother's wife and marry her, and raise up her an heir to your brother.
That's what I said. I should have said raise up an heir to your brother. See, that would have worked better than instead of raise up an heir to heir. Verse 9.
But Onan knew that the heir would not be his. And it came to pass, when he went into his brother's wife, that he admitted on the ground, lest he should give her an heir to his brother.
Y'all familiar with the Levirate marriage, right? Y'all see the Torah that he was trying to follow through this, right? If a male, if he's married, but he dies without having a children with that wife, then this is Torah law. That wife can't just marry anybody. The way that wife stays loyal to her husband who passed is making sure that she marries the closest of kin, which is going to be the brother, the nearest of kin to that brother, so that when she does have a child, that child actually will have the inheritance of the father that passed. Y'all get it? That's the Torah surrounding the Levirate marriage. It's in Devarim, I think 25 This is what they were following, and this is before the Torah came out. This is before the Torah was given to Moshe, that they were following this. So this is showing that there were aspects of the Torah around before the Torah was given on Sinai. But let's keep going.
Verse 10. And the thing which he did displeased Yahuwah. Therefore he killed him also.
Oh, man. So isn't this interesting? Now think about this. Remember what Judah did. It was Judah's idea to sell Joseph into slavery and to go and lie and to kill the goat and to make his dad think that Joseph was killed. And so in a sense, he killed Joseph. Judah was the ringleader, huh? You see how Yahuwah don't let nobody get away with nothing? He thought he got away with it, didn't he? Because man, Yaakov was deceived. He thought, man, oh, man, Joseph died. Oh, man. Yaakov was deceived. So Judah's like, man, we got away with it. Let me go on over here. I just need time away. I just need to get away. He went on and became independent, and Yahuwah caused him to lose 2 sons. You don't get away with nothing, y'all. You don't get away with nothing. Let's keep going.
Then Judah said to Tamar, his daughter-in-law, remain a widow in your father's house till my son Shelah is grown.
And I hope y'all seeing kind of the ancient paths here. Y'all see the patterns is when it comes to the son, it's usually the father who goes and finds the wife for his son, y'all. It's usually the Ab who goes and finds the Isha. It's really because now, man, my son's is getting older. I'm like, man, I gotta. These are the things that go through your mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, my oldest, he almost 20. I need to start thinking. I need to start looking. We gotta, because it's really the ancient paths is it's the Ab that finds these things. No, it ain't the son just going out there just, hey, Dad, I just came from the club. I met this girl. I'm in love. We're going to get married. Oh, no. That's not a thing. Not when it comes to the Kodashim and producing Kodashim. No. Don't nobody know who's best. Listen. This is why it was this way. The Ab is going to know way more than the son who's going to be through for him. I'm telling you. The Ab is going to know way more than the son. You know what the son is going to do? He's going to get somebody that's not through for him. He thought he was through, and then going to have to go bump his head about 2 or 3 times, and maybe the 5th relationship might work. By the time he's 35, 40, he might have a little enough sense to try to, to get somebody who really going to work. But no, Ab done already lived that life. He knows, oh yes, that's not going to be through for him. Nope. This can work. Oh, hold on. She can work. It's a start. It becomes like you start really thinking like that. You know what I'm saying? As a Ab, you start really thinking like that when your children get older. But this is the ancient past. It's a beautiful thing. It's a through thing to be able to marry sons to daughters and daughters to sons. You see what I'm saying? But man, that's how we be talking, because that's the ancient past. I'm telling you, back in the day, we just come home with a girl. The mom would be like, oh, okay, who's this? Hey, mom, I want you to meet Quita. Oh, okay. Yeah, hey, how you doing? And then after a week or so, mama telling you, nah, I don't like her. I don't like her. I don't like her. I'm sorry. It's just something about her. I don't like her. And then what do? Whatever, mama, you just don't never understand. You don't never understand. And then what happens? Mama be always right, don't you? That thing end up blowing up like a mug, boy. You crying? You crying to mama. She's like, well, I told you, Try to tell you. Ab and mom are a big part They know. Don't nobody know Akio more than Akio. For real. Y'all seen that thing with the with the Heisman Trophy winner? Y'all ain't seen yeah, Travis Hunter. Y'all ain't see that? It's all right. But it's this football. You seen it? So it's this. He only like, I think he might be what, like 19 or something. I think so. Yeah. So he the same age as the Jungle in them. So you can imagine this dude young, but he finna be top dog. Like he won the Heisman Trophy, y'all. But he's with this female. He with this female. She from the other nation too, boy. I think she was like, man, she was like a stripper. She, you could tell she just in it for the money. Look, and he's just like, and he's real green. He's real like all A student. I've never seen. I can't remember ever seeing that before. Somebody being that athletic to where you a Heisman Trophy winner, but also super nerdy, like all A student, super like green and goofy. Right. For real, I ain't never seen that. They usually be, having this whole story of this hard times they them came from and all this stuff. Oh, Travis Hunter? Oh, well, he did come from a hard time though. But he's green though when it comes to females. And so he got this girl. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna marry her. He's trying, like, he's a good dude. You can tell he's trying to do the thing, for Babylon, I would say, for Babylon standards. He's not like your normal like superstar. He's literally like, yeah, as soon as I go in the NFL, I'm gonna marry her. And everybody's like, oh man, nah, don't do it. Don't do that, man. We done seen it. All the old heads. Yeah, all the old celebrities. They getting on Facebook. Hey, man, look, man, I'm telling you, don't do it, man. Don't do it. She gonna get you for everything, man. Y'all gonna be married for a couple years and she gonna divorce you and get you for half of all your money, man. I'm telling you. Y'all gonna have babies. She gonna hit you for child support. They trying to tell him. Because he only like 18, 19. And he's like, no, I'm in love. We're gonna get married as soon as I go. And she's like this super stripper. She been in like music videos and, And you know what he did? He got online. Y'all just don't know what y'all talking about. Oh, y'all, forget all y'all. Woo-to-woo, woo-to-woo. And he was mad. But she older, too. She like 24, 25. I can't remember, though, but she older, though. She older, because he younger than her. Yeah. She did. I guarantee she telling her. Yeah, she telling her. Oh yeah, you need to make sure you can tell she don't like him either. They be in the picture, she be like, oh yeah, with the Heisman Trophy winner, she didn't stand up. Deion Sanders like, it's too late. Everybody done saw. Too late. But that's how it be, though. That's how it is. That's how it is. So we're going back to the ancient paths and doing things the way it was supposed to be done in the beginning. Hallelujah. Let's keep going.
Then Judah said to Tamar, his daughter-in-law, remain a widow in your father's house till my son Shelah is grown. For he said, lest he also die like his brothers.
All right. Now Judah started to move in his deception again. He like, all right, look, after the second son, he like, man, Judah starting to realize, oh man, she really Kodesh. Nah, he wasn't. I submit, he had a point by not giving Shelah to Tamar. Because, I mean, you putting Shelah in danger, fam. If he ain't righteous, he knew that. That's why he was like, yeah, just go back to your father's house. And, when Shelah grow up, you'll be through. I'll make sure you marry him. You know what I'm saying? That way, And she was so righteous, you know what she did? She went to her father's house. I mean, they were rich. No, that's Tamar. That's different. Never mind. She went to her father's house and waited. She waited. That was probably years, y'all. Let's keep going.
For he said, lest he also die like his brothers. And Tamar went and dwelt in her father's house. Now in the process of time, the daughter of Shua, Judah's wife, died, and Judah was comforted and went up to his sheep shearers at Timnah, and he and his friend Harah, the Adulamite.
This is really interesting to me. It's something about sheep shearers because that was the thing with Nabal and Abigail too. It was surrounding the sheep shearers, and Nabal was wicked and got killed by the Most High for how he was moving with Abigail. Yeah, just a side note. Let's keep going.
And it was told to Tamar, saying, look, your father-in-law was going up to Timnah to shear his sheep. So she took off her widow's garments, covered herself with a veil, and wrapped herself, sat in an open place, which was on the way to
So
Timnah.
she was deceived first. You see how this whole Torah portion is surrounding deception. Judah deceived her. He was like, yeah, just wait there. And then when Sheila get older, I'm gonna give him to you, okay? So just sit tight. She like, okay. And she waited for years and years. Then she realized, hold on, man, Sheila, man, he like 25 and he still. And so now it's time for her to move in deception, to deceive him. So, and it's surrounding garments. A lot of this deception is surrounding garments, ain't it? Surrounding clothing. So she took off the widow's garment and put on the garments of a harlot where she is veiled, which is interesting because maybe that supports what Emet was saying. We're trying to see about Leah and Rachel and how he didn't know that. I was like, maybe they twins, but maybe there's a thing where they be veiled when they first consummate. I don't know. Where you can't tell who they are because this happened here. Judah lay with Tamar and didn't know it was Tamar because she had on a veil. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know. Maybe that was the thing back then, to where they would be veiled while they doing it. I don't understand it. I know we're trying to go back to the code, the ancient past. But I don't even know on that one. Need to get more understanding on that. Yeah. Covered with a veil. Keep going. So she took off her widow's garments
and sat in an open place, which was on the way to Timnah, for she saw that Shelah was grown, and she was not given to him as a wife.
Ah, that's cold.
When Judah saw her, he thought she was a harlot, because she had covered her face. Then he turned to her by the way and said, please let me come into you. For he did not know that she was his daughter-in-law. So she said, what will you give me that you may come into me?
What will you give me? Let's keep going.
And he said, I will send a young goat from the flock.
All right, so now a goat is being brought up again. Yeah, I'll send a young goat from the flock. This is also showing you that this was money as well. It's also showing you that flocks and things like that. But a young goat is involved. Yeah, I'll sacrifice one of my goats. I'll give you a young goat from the flock. But look what she said.
So she said, will you give me a pledge till you send it? Then he said, what pledge shall I give you? So she said, your signet and cord.
And what else?
In your staff that is in your hand.
All right. This is the deception. The seed giving away the staff. She is saying, I'm going to deceive him because he done did me wrong. You know what? I'm supposed to be bringing forth this coated seed from the lineage of Yehuda. I'm supposed to be doing that, but he won't let me marry his son. It didn't work out with the first two, but Sheila's there. But he ain't let me do that. So I got to figure out a way to do this. I'm going to join myself with Judah. I'm going to deceive him to join with me. I'm going to deceive him. I'm going to cause him to give away his authority to me. Basically, I want to be a part of this lineage, this birthright in a sense. You get what I'm saying? That's what this was surrounding around. And so he literally gave her his staff. That's like a textbook breakdown in the call. He also gave him a signet, which I believe that's also can mean bracelet, ring, things like that, and the cord, which, you know, I looked at that. It can mean a few things, but like a cord that you tie with, you know, a cord that you can tie with, the signet rings, things like that. I know Shoshone had visions of surrounding that lately. That's what it was reminding me of, like a signet cord and things like that. And I think staff too. Several of y'all have visions of the staff and as well. But that's surrounding authority. That's surrounding the birthright, you know, and also surrounding around instruction. But y'all, this staff is different, I submit. This staff is very prophetic. This is the staff of Judah. Her taking the staff of Judah. Remember, the scepter shall not depart from Judah. The scepter, that's the staff. If you look at the Hebrew word, that's the word, it's staff. Shall not depart from Yehuda, nor a lawgiver from between his feet. Because, you know, the scepter is associated with being a lawgiver, a Torah, until Shiloh come. When he says, that, y'all know what I'm talking about, Genesis 49? There's a scepter that belongs to, a staff that belongs to Judah, that solidifies Judah as the kings, the lawgiver, as the having a certain type of birthright. You get what I'm saying? I submit this was the staff. This was the scepter. That he was almost ready to give away to a harlot. He just didn't know. But Most High made it to where he gave it away to one of the Kodesh women who are one of his daughters. Go to Genesis 49, y'all. We're wrapping it up. That's Genesis 38 that we're reading. That's why I'm telling y'all this is probably the same scepter. That was just a few chapters down. 8 chapters down, 9 chapters. Start with verse 8. Genesis 49, verse 8. Everybody there? All right.
Judah, you are he whom your brothers shall praise. Your hands shall be on the neck of your enemies. Your father's children shall bow down before you.
Ain't that interesting? That's what Joseph had seen. He had seen all his brothers bowing down to him. But that's a whole, we'll get into that more. Then we'll get to that Torah portion. Keep going.
Judah is a lion's whelp.
So you see Yehuda, that's associated with the order of the lion. That's why y'all be seeing lions a lot. I think a lion's whelp means a young lion. Ain't that what that means? Judah is a lion's whelp. Yeah. We're of the descendancy of Yehuda, most of us. The order of the lion. Keep going.
For the prey, my son, you have gone up. He bows down. He lies down as a lion. And as a lion, who shall rouse him? The scepter shall not depart from Judah.
The what?
The scepter.
So that's the staff. It shall not depart from Yehuda. It will not leave. That authority, that birthright will not depart from Yehuda. The kingly lineage will not depart from Yehuda. That's that staff. Keep going.
Nor a lawgiver from between his feet until Shiloh comes.
Keep going.
And to him shall be the obedience of the people.
And to him shall be what?
The obedience of the people.
Listen, this is what this scepter surrounds around. The scepter of Yehuda is unto him. Surrounding this scepter, this authority, this teaching, this instruction, that the obedience of the people shall be. That's why the awakening surrounded around Yehuda. It's Yehuda who started the awakening, and who's driving the awakening. It's us. Because it's unto him that the obedience of the people shall be. It's Yehuda that's going to cause people to move in obedience to Torah. It's Yehuda who's going to cause people to be under who as their master? Yehuda. Say it. Under who? Okay, I heard two people, but you're right. It's Yahusha, the two people who said that. Under Yahusha as their bridegroom. It is Judah. It is unto his staff. It's under that scepter. It's unto Judah that the obedience that's going to cause people to submit themselves under Yahusha. Y'all know what lineage Yahusha came from? Judah. He's of the scepter of, he comes from this staff, right? He comes from this staff of Judah as well. He comes from this staff of Judah as well. So as Ahmed was bringing out, we're going to see this here shortly. But the lineage, that when Tamar did that, that caused the lineage of Judah, the scepter of Judah, to continue, and that's how you got Yahushua HaMashiach came from that lineage. King David came from that lineage. Solomon came from that lineage. The list goes on and on and on. It was because of her that the Kodesh seed was able to continue. All right, go to Isaiah chapter 11. Isaiah 11, verse 1.
Everybody there?
All right, let's go.
The vision of Isaiah, the son of Amoz.
I'm sorry, Isaiah chapter 11, verse 1.
Sorry. My bad. There shall come forth a rod from the stem of Jesse.
There shall come forth a what? Isn't that a staff? Yes. A rod from the stem of Jesse. Who is Jesse? That's David's father, who's from that staff of scepter of Judah. Descendant of Tamar, right? Judah and Tamar. Jesse. There shall come forth a rod from the stem of Jesse. And what else does it say?
And a branch shall grow out of his roots.
Isn't a branch what a staff is as well? That's all a staff is, in a sense, is a branch. Even the ones that are made, like the menorah, these are considered branches of the menorah, and the menorah is considered a tree. All right. Keep going.
The Ruach of Yahuwah shall rest upon him.
This should be what we would see coming upon those who are of the lineage of Yehuda, who have the scepter of Yehuda. Come on. The spirit of Yahuwah shall rest upon them.
The Ruach of wisdom and understanding. The Ruach of counsel and might. The Ruach of knowledge in the fear of Yahuwah. His delight is in the fear of Yahuwah, and he shall not judge by the sight of his eyes.
Hallelujah.
Nor decide.
Keep going.
Nor decide by the hearing of his ears. But with righteousness he shall judge the poor.
Keep going.
He shall judge poverty, and decide with equity for the meek of the Eretz. He shall strike the Eretz with the rod of his mouth, and with the breath of his lips he shall slay the wicked.
So it's these descendants of Yehuda who will be able to declare and strike the earth with the rod of their mouth through declaration, y'all. Keep going.
Verse
And
5.
with the breath of his lips he shall slay the wicked, y'all. Ain't this something? So it's these people that'll be able to move in this function, in the Ruach and the declaration, verse 5.
Righteousness should be the belt of his lions, and faithfulness the belt of his waist. The wolf also shall dwell with the lamb. The leopard shall lie down with the young goat. The calf and the young
Didn't we
lion.
just hear about the young goat? What Judah was trying to give away the young goat? That's interesting. All right, let's keep going.
The calf and the young lion and the fattening together, and a little child shall lead them. The cow and the bear shall graze, their young ones shall lie down together, and the lion shall eat straw like the ox. The nursing child shall play by the crowbar's hole, and the weaned child shall put his hand in the viper's den. They shall not hurt nor destroy in all my Kodesh mountain, for the Eretz shall be full of knowledge of Yahuwah as the waters covers the sea. And in that day there shall be a root of Jesse, who shall stand as a banner to the people. But the Gentiles shall seek him, and his resting place shall be glorious. It shall come to pass in that day that Yahuwah shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people who are left from Assyria, from Egypt, from Pathros and Cush, from Elam and Shinar, from Hamath and the islands of the sea. He will set up a banner for the nations.
And we'll do what?
And will assemble the outcasts of Israel.
Doesn't this line up with the scepter shall not depart from Judah, and it's unto him that the obedience of the people shall be. In other words, it's unto Judah that the awakening will happen, y'all. And so then we go to Isaiah 11. It talks about this stem, this rod, this scepter, this staff of Jesse, who is David's dad, who is of Judah. And then it's associated in verse 12 with how Yahuwah will assemble all the outcasts of Israel and gather together the dispersed of Yehudah. Keep going.
From the four corners of the Eretz, also the envy of Ephraim shall depart, and the adversaries of Yehudah shall be cut off. Ephraim shall not envy Yehudah, and Yehudah shall not harass Ephraim. They shall fly down upon the shoulder of the Philistines toward the west. Together they shall plunder the people of the east. They shall lay their hand on Edom and Moab, and the people of Ammon shall obey them. Yahuwah will utterly destroy the tongue of the sea of Egypt. With his mighty wind, he will shake his fist over the river, strike it into 7 streams, and make men cross over dry shod. That should be a highway for the remnant of his people, who will be left from Assyria. And it was for Israel in that day that he came up from the land of Mizraim.
Hallelujah. So this is showing you the significance of rebuild the tabernacle of Dawood, kings and priests. That's why now y'all see why the Kodesh seed is such an important focus right now in the tribes. Y'all, the scepter of Yehudah has rested upon us, y'all. The scepter of Yehudah has rested upon us. That's why the Kodesh seed is just as important as when Tamar was doing what she needed to do to make sure that she produced the Kodesh seed. We got to make sure we're doing what we need to do without the deception to produce the Kodesh seed. All right, we're going to finish up Genesis 38 and we'll be done. We're on verse yeah, start with verse 20.
And Judah sent the young goat by the hand of his friend, the Adullamite, to receive his pledge from the woman's hand. But he did not find her. Then he asked the men of that place, saying, Where is the harlot? Where is the harlot who was opening by the roadside? And they said, There was no harlot in this place. So he returned to Judah and said, I cannot find her. Also the man of the place said, There was no harlot in this place. Then Judah said, Let her take them for herself, lest we be ashamed, for I sent this young goat, and you have not found her. And it came to pass about 3 months after that Judah was told, saying, Tamar, your daughter-in-law, has played the harlot. Furthermore, she is with child by harlotry.
Because y'all know in that 3-month period, now she's showing. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Keep going.
So Judah said, Bring her out and let her be burned.
Man.
When she was brought out, she sent to her father-in-law, saying, By the man to whom these belong, I am with child. And she said, Please determine whose these are, the signet and the cord and staff.
Y'all see how she's doing that? The same thing. Yeah, y'all see that? It's the same thing they did with when it came to Ab Yosef. No, Ab Yaakov. Like, yeah, whose is this? Whose jacket is this? Like, yeah, whose cord and staff? See, that's how you know he had a very distinct staff. It wasn't like just no regular, just some random stick. Oh no. Remember, these people were royalty, man. These people had dominion. That staff was probably had diamonds on it or something. Who knows? That staff probably was crazy. And there was a cord and some sort of ring or bracelet or something. Probably was shining. Whoever this is, that's who I'm with child with. Everybody like, okay. She probably did it in front of everybody too. Everybody looking at Judah. Like, I don't know. Yeah, whoever this is, this who I'm with child with. He probably like, wait, hold on, come on over here, come over here. Hey, wait, hold on now. What's going on now, for real? Now, give me my stuff, man. What you?
This is private.
Man, look, he probably was feeling crazy because, see, he was moving kind of weird. He was trying to, get with harlots and stuff. You know what I'm saying? He was moving kind of crazy. So she put him out there. Let's keep going.
Verse 26. So Judah acknowledged them and said, She has been more righteous than I, because I did not give her to Shelah, my son. He never knew her again. Now it came to pass at the time for giving birth that, behold, twins were in her womb. And so it was, when she was giving birth, that the one put out his hand, and the midwife took a scarlet thread and bound it on his hand, saying, This one came out first. Then it happened, as he drew back his hand, that his brother came out unexpectedly. And she said, How did you break through? This breach be upon you. Therefore his name was called Perez. Afterward his brother came out, who had the scarlet thread on his hand, and his name was called Zerah.
All praise to the Most High. Yeah, so Perez ended up being, I think it means breach. Yeah, he ended up being the progenitor of those people we just mentioned, King David, Solomon, Yahushua HaMashiach, you know, and many others, many others. You can go on and on and on. Hezekiah, you know, you can go on and on and on. Many of the famous people we know in the scriptures who are of the Yahudim were descendants from this lineage. Y'all, this was Judah's lineage. This was the coded seed. So, but the main thing, y'all, is you have to be real careful not to be deceived. Mishlei 31, it says, do not give your strength to women, your ways to those who destroy kings. So that was dangerous. He gave his staff away to who he thought was a harlot. The Most High covered him, but yeah, that was risky. Do not give your strength to women. There's deception in that. In Matthew 24, the disciples went up to Yahushua and they said, "Hey, can you tell us when? What are the sign that basically that the end times is coming, or something like that? When? What do they say? When is the sign that the Son of Man is coming near? Something like that." The first thing Yahushua said was, "Be careful that you do not be deceived." That's the first thing he said before going into all the signs and stuff. After that, then he goes into, oh yeah, there'll be wars and rumors of wars. Nation will be going against nation. You know, there'll be earthquakes in diverse places. You know, he'll go and but that first thing he says in response to them is, be sure that you do not be deceived. In other words, do not give up your authority to nobody. Do not give up I don't care, not to no women, not to anybody. Do not let nobody deceive you. Hold close to the covenant. Hold close to Yahuwah. Keep his commandments. Guard his instructions. You say Yahushua is Adonai, but is it really? Because people can talk all day, but it's going to show in your actions, in your heart, and in your mindset. Is Yahushua Adonai, or is it Baal? For real. It's just like during the days of Elijah. During the days of Elijah, the king who was ruling at that time, his name was Ahab. And he had a wife. Ahab had a wife. She was more famous than Ahab in the scriptures because that's how wicked she was. And her name was Jezebel. And she was this super duper devoted to Baal. And Ahab was devoted to Baal because of his marriage to her. Ahab served Yahuwah too, though. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. It's complicated. I'm telling you. Ahab served Yahuwah too. Do y'all know? A lot of people don't know this because Ahab is not famous in the scriptures. But Ahab had sinned. He went before he went before the Most High, repented, and the Most High heard him and forgave him. And Ahab had many great victories after that. He ended up falling off because of Jezebel and worshiping Baal, but he had a lot of victories before all that happened, is what I'm saying, or in the midst of all that. He served Yahuwah too, but he also served Baal. So what happened, you had a lot of confusion going on in Yasharel, where you had these people trying to straddle the fence in between serving Yahuwah and serving the world, Baal. That's why Yahuwah sent Elijah on the scene. That's why Yahuwah shut up the earth, the heavens. It wasn't no rain. That's why Yahuwah started judging Yasharel during that time. Because of Ahab and Jezebel had the whole nation. They were worshiping Baal, but they thought they was through because they were still serving Yahuwah too. They would still keep the feast days. I said, we ain't going to leave Yahuwah. We ain't going to. They still keep Pesach. They still keep Shabbat. But Baal is actually Adonai to them, not really Yahusha, not really Yahuwah. You see what I'm saying? That's why Elijah, he's just like, you know what? We finna put it all on the line. Look. If Yahuwah is a Lua, worship him. If Baal, worship him. Elijah like, we just going to put it on the table. Look, man, y'all got to serve one or the other. Y'all can't be playing around. Yahuwah not pleased. If Yahuwah is a Lua, serve him. If Baal is, then worship him. One or the other. And that's when he had that big showdown with the prophets of Baal and himself. Him versus all the prophets of Baal. You know what I'm saying? But why was all these people worshiping Baal in Yasharel during this time? It's called deception. It's called deception. Hold on to the scepter, y'all. Don't give up the scepter. Don't give it away. Hold on. Keep the commandments. Serve Yahuwah. Do the thing like what we talked about last week. Be submitted. Be humble. Remember, being submitted and being humble is synonymous. Sometimes saying being humble is easier on the ears because you say be submitted, it's like some men people just submit. But if I say be humble, everybody, oh yeah, okay, yeah. It means it's synonymous, Mishpacha. Listen, it's synonymous. All praise to the Most High. Hallelujah. Yeah, and I'll say this, y'all. A lot of things that cause deception is breaches. Breaches is some envy, jealousy, iniquity, rebellion. These are all breaches that will cause you to be deceived, y'all. Pride, oh man, pride. These are all things that will cause you to be deceived. If you stay humble, if you stay submitted, if you stay open, receiving the words, stay doing the things we're telling you to do, you will not be deceived. Stay strong, firm, rooted, and grounded, not wavering or shaking, you will not be deceived. But everything in this world is going to try to deceive you. They're going to try to get you up out of that birthright. That's what it's all about. But all praise to the Most High.
Okay, so we got Bakir Ezra Hadassah. We at 142. The 12 sons, we have a song for that. Yeah. The children, yeah, I remember that. I put comparison is the enemy of contentment. Contentment is the gate of remembrance. I remember I got that in prayer when you were talking about being content. Usually if you're not content, it's because you're comparing yourself to something. Like even Eve, she compared herself to Elua. So then she's like, well, I'm no longer content. And then when you're not content, you can not release the card what Yahuwah has done. Radayahu. This is why having control over information, dominion, is such a big deal. Having control over the information comes with having wisdom and discernment. The enemy can't deceive those who have through discernment. Let's see, Anthony, you want to sing the song?
Now, let me say this, though. Hold on, let me say this. So, if you keep saying you have great discernment, you have great discernment, you have great discernment, what I've noticed a lot of times when people do, their discernment really kind of off. Yeah. Because you depend so much on your own way that you look at things, you're gonna miss things. That's pride there. That's pride. We have people in the tribe. I'm talking about those people, man. We have people in the tribe. Man, I got great discernment. I got great discernment. See, because I see things, because I can tell things. I have this great discernment, and discernment be way off. Because what happened is because there was a pride that came with that. you think your discernment is so great that when somebody is discerning something and trying to tell you something, you can't receive it because you feel like your discernment is great. Well, I didn't see that, so I'm not receiving that. I ain't see it that way, so I don't believe it. I'm not receiving it. And then what happens? They end up getting deceived. They over there doing church stuff now, right, saying the law's done away with and everything. So one aspect of having great discernment is being humble and not telling everybody you have great discernment. For real? For real? The only people that should be telling you you have great discernment is somebody else. Right. And then even then, you should just be like, oh, told I to Yahuwah. Told I to the Most High, you know what I'm saying? That's the Most High. Because don't nobody have greater discernment than the Most High. And ain't nobody discernment perfect. But you gonna sign something off right away because you didn't see it. You're not gonna see everything. All right, let's keep going. I'll stop. Let me stop.
Musha, I was gonna say one thing that I've learned personally with the humility and the pride. Like, humility is key. Especially if you're a person who has discernment, humility is going to keep you in that realm of discernment. But if you start moving in pride, what you think is discernment could actually be suspicion. And you can be all the way wrong. So humility is key. That's something that I've learned over time.
Oh, man, you going in.
Paranoia, God. Suspicion. So suspicion has its roots in your experiences. That's like so when you see something or you've experienced something and then you see this new thing happen, you're like, oh yeah, I know what this is. That's not discernment, that's suspicion. Discernment, even from like the scriptures, y'all remember when Joseph had this cup, well, that's a little different actually, I won't go into that, but discernment is gonna have its root in the ruach. Like you can, one of the key signs of discernment is you have a through prayer life. If your prayer life ain't tight like that, then you may have a gift of discernment, but I would not trust that because you can't separate your experiences from what the Ruach is doing, because Yahuwah be like, man, I do a new thing. Eyes have not seen, ears have not heard, neither has it been revealed to the heart of man. So when you see a new thing, most people discerned, quote unquote, was just evil. I knew the Melachim was doing something. That was their discernment. That's because of their experience. That's because that's suspicion. And then what Amma said, that's when you begin to lean on suspicion so much, that will turn into paranoia. That was a real through point.
Suspicion comes from your nefesh, discernment from the ruach.
Yeah, Malek Musha actually, it was in one of his teachings, though. David, go take that to Radah. It was in one of his teachings. He went into the difference. I can't remember which one it is, though, but he had like a slideshow. That probably don't help.
And another thing I was thinking is, that's another reason why pride is such a huge enemy. Because if you have pride, you're not gonna have to discernment. They don't mix. It's not possible. So if you have a whole bunch of prideful people, that means you have a whole bunch of people who ain't gonna be able to see themselves. A whole bunch of people who ain't gonna be able to submit. All of the above.
And I don't know why, but almost everybody who, it seems like it, maybe not everybody, but almost. It seems like everybody that we know that struggle big time with pride, they always feel like they just had this crazy discernment. Every time. I don't know why it's like that.
Dang, I didn't think about that. Yeah, now you're right. Like, I know what y'all really doing. Like, all right. Yeah, that's. I ain't never thought about that, Musho. That's so true. All right, Shashawn Yahoo. He caught what she was curious about, spying, watching. The serpent, yeah. Watching to see what she was interested in, plotting and made his move. Yeah, the serpent.
Man.
Yeah, Khan.
Yeah.
Daoud. She decked herself with earrings and jewelry. She put on the clothes and articles of the captivity so she would be recognized as a bride of Babylon. Man. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Because that's what he was into. He married a Canaanite, Babylonian is another, you know. Yeah. That's what he was on. So she's like, okay, I got him. I'm finna dress like wear on the garments of a Babylonian, of a harlot, and that'll do it.
She actually wore the garments of a temple prostitute. That's how you know that it was he was into that religion, because she was so the Canaanites, they were big on, you know, all of that. You look at Numbers, you see Balak and Balaam, how they came and killed 24K with prostitution, basically. That's Baal. That's exactly what Baal worship is. When you were saying, okay, so that's exactly what Baal worship is. So when what she did is she put on like this priestess garment almost. I even submit that's why the veil was like that. So when he saw her, he recognized her, because when old boy went and, you know, tried to bring her back her payment, they were like, ain't no temple prostitute over here. Ain't no. So I would submit that he had even left the allure of Yaakov. I think that's why he was through with marrying them women. I think that's why even when he bought up the Levirate marriage, his sons was like, man, you're not even really about this life, man. What you mean? So yeah, that was it.
Man, that really makes sense though. Bakir Yamin was saying, because so what happens when you marry? That's the reason why Yahuwah said not to marry the Canaanites, because he said they would turn your sons astray. They will cause you to worship other allures. So it could have been when he went and married that Canaanite woman that caused him to dabble in the allure she was on. See what I'm saying? That she was worshiping. Absolutely. Man, yeah, that makes sense though. That's crazy.
Yeah, and Hadassah was showing me how you were talking about the Hosea passage. That's what. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. From Anthony. That means that people that followed Baal were Christians. In the concept is similar. Yeah, the concept is similar. Yeah, Christianity is it's a different thing, but it's still a false religion. So you're right in that way.
Yeah. So if you go to a Christian and say, yeah, that's Baal worship, they're gonna be like, no, it's not. They're gonna get offended, it's kind of like Christmas. Okay, so Christmas comes from an ancient Babylonian custom that was associated, I believe, with Saturnalia, something like that. It's associated with those things. But if you talk to somebody who celebrates Christmas and say, oh man, that's Saturnalia festival, they're gonna be like, no, that's not. No, it's not. You know, we don't do that for that. We do that, you know, for the Most High, you know, whatever. You know, for the children, you know, stuff like that. All that. They're gonna get offended if you say that's Saturnalia, but the reality is that's where it comes from. That's their origins. So that's the same concept with Christianity. You understand, Anthony? Christianity is a religion of Baal. It's based off of Baal worship. But that's not what it's called today. That's not what it's, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of that is mixed in there. You know what I'm saying? They're not doing temple prostitution or none of that. However, you know, there's a lot of stuff that goes on that altar up there. You know, the altar for them is the stage. They call that the altar in Christianity, the stage. And there'll be a lot of stuff going on a lot of times, you know, on that stage. But it's still a lot, there's differences, but as far as there's a lot of remnants that still comes from Baal worship.
All right, we got Radayahu. And it shall be in that day, says Adon. This is Hosea. Okay, says Adon, that you will call me my husband and no longer call me my master. For I will take from her mouth the names of the Baals, and they shall be remembered by their name no more. Hosea 2:16, 17. This is talking about us. This is covenant talk. He made a covenant with us, and we call ourselves his bride.
Man, he going in.
He also removed the names of Baals from our mouths. We renounced and denounced the names of these people here. That's it.
That's
God.
it. That's it. And we renounced and denounced Gudon too. I don't know if y'all remember that. That was crazy. That was a game changer when that revelation came out. That was so game when they tried to put that teaching out, all their lights just went out. And so then they kept going. They had to use like light bulbs and lamps and said, we're gonna keep going. Man, we don't know what happened, but everything shut down. But we're gonna keep going. And he was like on his iPad still doing the teaching. Mm-hmm. Y'all listen. You talking about a whole principality when you're talking about that Baal stuff, man. Because at that time there was still a lot of people, even in the tribes, who was we still had Baal as master. A lot of us did, but still had Babylon as Adon instead of Yahusha, for real. So man, that's it.
Shoshone said, I promise Dad be practicing those voices in the mirror at the house.
I'll be practicing on my children. Nah, I'm playing. Which one? Tucker, what's that? Oh, the white one? Yeah. That's hilarious. You talking about the white? Yeah, you know that one. The proper. That's hilarious.
Mushala said, Judah sold Joseph into slavery. And later, we see the descendants of Judah being sold into slavery. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kalesh said, what Yaakov sowed, he reaped. God,
Yeah.
that's what Amma was saying.
Man. Yeah.
Shaka, he who brings into captivity. Oh, she come with the precept. Well, I guess it's not technically a precept. All right, anyway. He who brings into captivity shall go into captivity. He who kills with the sword has to be killed with the sword. Here is the endurance and the belief of the set apart ones.
Man.
Revelation 13:10.
Man, he who brings into captivity shall go into captivity. Man, that's crazy.
Yeah, Yahuwah just.
Yeah.
His scales are balanced. Just like the just like the twins, Tamar had one was at the door and the other one put his hand out to make sure he wasn't the firstborn. But the one that was to come out first to receive the birthright, Dawood and Yahusha, came from his bloodline through Perez. Yeah, I don't even think had children. Yeah, he did not. Okay, God. Zerah. That's what I mean. Yeah, Zerah. Don't not Zerah. Well, ain't either though. He didn't get the air for so. All right. Shoshone. At work, some call me Miss Chi-Town. Through point. Yeah, talking about we be renaming things.
That's how we be doing. Mm-hmm. We be renaming everybody. You don't know what your name gonna be until you get over there. Just whatever they start calling you, that end up being your name. That's how it be. I really believe that's what the Israelites was doing back then too, though. That's why that one lady name was Wealth. Hira.
Yeah, there's a let me read this real quick. So what you were saying is 100% accurate. I was talking to Isha about this. 2 Corinthians 20.
Even with Nabal, we were talking about last night. His name is literally Nabal. Like your mama named you fool. No.
That's not what his mama called.
No, that's the Israelites start calling you that because the way you was moving. That's what that was.
Yeah, I mean, I can't find it on the spot, but there's these times in the scriptures where Israel will be in a place and they say, and the name of that place was known as such and such, but they called it they called it Samaria, and it is called that to this day. I was like, how you just gonna change history? Like you just okay, just rename it things.
Snap! No, that's huge though, cause that's dominion.
God.
Oh snap! Cause that's what Adam and Kawhi did. They named everything.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I had to find it and put it in the chat. But they was doing that all the time. It's particularly in the Torah portion when they were going through the land of Canaan, they was renaming everything. So, all right, anyway. Oh, yes, sir?
Yeah. Oh. I was just gonna say that makes sense though because, right? That makes sense though because in the Hebrew culture, the name represents function, so that makes sense.
Radayahu, most of the people who got deceived didn't find out themselves. I don't have to read the rest. That's true. It's by definition, right? Yahuwah ended up judging who deceived them. A lot of Yahuwah's judgments in this passage were just straight up death. Can't deceive the Most High. Come. Yeah, man, you own it.
Got that scepter. What I'm talking about.
Hey. Yeah. I see some. Oh, man. Shammah, I learned in Babylon that when you tell your people something isn't through for them, they cling to that person harder and be with them longer than they probably would have if you hadn't said anything. Yeah, I got a sister like that, man. Yeah, that's true. Democracy. Do the opposite. Yeah. Yeah. So Shammah also said if Tamar hadn't taken his staff, he would have killed her, although he was the one in the wrong. Yeah. Hypocritical.
And this is what I'm saying. That's why it's strange. So, and I think that's what it is about Baal worship is that Baal also deceives you to make you be like, well, you can still serve your Yahuwah too, because you can obviously see that Judah was still trying to move in Torah and a lot of things. So there is a Torah precept that talks about if the daughter of a priest, I think it has to be a daughter of a priest though, if she moves in some sort of harlotry, she is to be burned. That was the judgment. So it's a lot of stuff seemed like he was trying to move in Torah on, but then you got this other stuff going on at the same time. That would seem to be the theme of Baal worship. It's like this mixture. You can serve this other Alua, but it's all right. You can still serve your Alua. Just come over here when you feel like it. You know what I'm saying? Baal worship had that deception.
I was gonna say the Baal worship, like how Yahuwah said, lean not to your own understanding, all your ways acknowledge me, and He'll direct your path. So in Baal, it is not like that. What'll happen is you'll be like, oh yeah, you don't gotta pray on that. You got this. You know the answer to this. Just go ahead and do that. This is what you feeling. This is what you need to do then, because it'll tell you follow your heart like Disney. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's another distinction.
Shashawn put a picture of looking at her watch. I think. No, she said, I feel like Tamar was plotting and waiting on Judah after she put that veil.
And she probably was waiting for a minute, man. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy, though.
Yeah.
She probably was waiting for a minute, man. That's true.
It seemed like he wasn't gonna never give her the other son, regardless, because he didn't want him to die too. He didn't want to give up that child to Yahuwah, even though he made the wrong choice when he married a Canaanite woman. So it's like he already knew from the first two sons what was going to happen to the third son. So he was telling her, yeah, I'm going to give this son to you. But he wasn't going to never do it. And I feel like the Most High kind of gave her discernment that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, now that's some discernment right there. Because she positioned herself to be able to still be in that lineage, be in that birthright, and bring forth Kodesh seed. That's just a lot of determination to do that. It's just it took a lot to do that. Cause I'm trying to think like, yeah. Anyway, I'm just thinking that out loud. How that had to go down.
Take the mic back.
Yeah, pass the mic down.
Would you got the mic? Go ahead, jump in.
Testing. Serious question. So was it like known for example, for Judah and Tamar, Judah had went and seen like Tamar was a harlot, and then he went into her. Like, was that like a normal thing to go through? Like, would be like a prostitute that he went into in the ancient times? Because from the camp that I had went to or came from, they went to the clubs, and they were, grabbing women from the clubs and stuff and bringing them in to the truth, or supposedly the truth. But that's when you had said that, I was cracking up. But that's a serious question. I'm just interested in what that.
Yeah, no. So actually, prostitution wasn't a thing in Yasharel. So that was the ways of the other nations. That's why that happened when he was in the Canaanite land, where she moved like that. But that was not a thing in Yasharel. That was the ways of the other nations. A matter of fact, that's what I was just mentioning, that there's a Torah that says if the daughter, I believe it's just the daughter of a priest, though.
Yeah,
if she moves in harlotry. Yeah, go ahead, bring it out. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Leviticus 19:29. Oh, yeah, I got you. It says that because it is the daughter of the priest, but it's about the land. So it says, do not prostitute your daughter to cause her to be a whore, lest the land. Oh, let me switch versions. It's separate. Hold on 1 second, y'all. My apologies. Here we go. Do not prostitute your daughter to cause her to be a harlot, lest the land fall into harlotry and the land become full of wickedness.
Like that pollutes the land. Have you ever think about it? Oh yeah, I don't know if you remember when you were in Chicago. I know you were young, but you ever been in the areas of Chicago where they had prostitution at? That literally defiles the land. It's any area where that's going on, it's usually the most run down, most worst part of town. And that's what and also prostitution surrounded around oppression. That's surrounded around oppression, and Yasharel was never designed. Yasharel, when it's in its right standing with Yahuwah, is basically oppression free. It's the only oppression free government in the world. You get what I'm saying? Because it's the only government that's based off of Yahuwah. Remember, all the other nations are given over to Hasatan. So all the other nations are built off of some sort of oppression, off the back of crushing somebody else, slavery, something. See what I'm saying? And prostitution is associated with that. Prostitution is almost like a form of slavery. And so that's why, in Yasharel, that was not a thing. It was not a thing. The only time that even was close to a thing is when Yasharel was not in right standing with Yahuwah. When Yasharel started, maybe they got a king who was worshiping the Baal or one of the other allures of the other nations, and they were moving like the other nations, then those were the only exceptions of when stuff like that might have started creeping in. Because I know there was some things like that. I think in the kings where stuff did creep in like that. So to answer the question, though, Judah wasn't raised like that. No, he was moving like the Canaanites with that. But the Most High just covered them anyway, and just had it to where it happened to be a Kodesh woman who was disguising herself as what he was looking for. But listen, let me say this. I'll just say this last thing on that. Being in the truth and going to the club, that's not a thing. Well, let me say it like this: being in Yahuwah and Yahusha, and going to the club, that is not a thing.
There's no element there.
It's nothing. Oh no, I'm just gonna go and pull some females to bring into this truth. No, that's not real. That's not real. That sounds like an excuse to go clubbing. That's what that sounds like to me. So anyway, but yeah.
Because you can also keep in mind that the harlots, like the system of harlotry, that existed not in Israel, but in the other nations, because that was how they worshiped their Alua. So if you wanted to worship, you wanted to give an offering, you would go lay with one of the temple prostitutes.
Wow.
That was the way that you gave up your offering, or you would bring a child and burn them up, right? And they would listen to the cries of it's kind of graphic, but anyway, that's another way that they would worship. But even if you weren't a priest's daughter, I would submit that it was never a through thing for, and this is real through for y'all young daughters to hear. Y'all talking, listen. This is through for y'all to hear that if in Israel, in our culture, it was through for you to be a virgin. In our culture, it is through for you to be a virgin, because the opposite of that is if we give you to a son and then you don't have your virginity, in our culture, he could have said, hey, look, there's no evidence of her virginity. That woman would have been stoned. So it's the priest's daughter that it calls it out. But even then, if you got married and you say, oh, I'm a virgin. You got married and there's no evidence of that, we can, y'all can give them Agio and talk about the evidence. Y'all got that. Praise the Most High. But if there was no evidence, he could bring you up on charges. And then he would take the blank, there's no evidence, and then they stone her to death or put her in a fire. What does it say? I can't remember, but it's either fire or stone. So it was never a thing in our culture for our daughters not to be harlots. I would submit that's why even Simeon and Levi, that's why they was furious when Shechem did that to Dinah. It was furious. Yeah, they said, you have made my sister into, they told Jacob, shall we be okay with this? Because he made our sister into a harlot. And they said this is not a thing that's heard in Israel. This ain't nothing. We don't know nothing about this. So that's why y'all mindset, and sons, this for y'all too, but really to the daughters, y'all mindset, you got to go from Babylon to Israel, because it's through for you to be a virgin. It's through for you not to know a man until you're married. I know it's taught opposite. Everything you see on TV, the opposite of that. But maybe that's I'll leave that. Just the word. Oh, that's it. It's just the world showing you who to worship. They teach you to be a temple prostitute. That's why. I was about to say that. Come on. God, now get into the hair and everything. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say is they're showing you what they represent and who they serve. That's why you have all these award shows. You have all these women dressed like, harlots. You have them, everything showing, the eyelashes, the fingernails. Then they tell you that this is beauty. But it's like Yahuwah said, beauty to him is a woman with a head wrapped, dressed and adorned with his garments, right? With his jewels. And the world don't teach you that. The world teach you that I have to do this in order to be seen. I have to do this because I dealt with abandonment. I have to do this so that way I have to people please. I have to do all these things to have friends. It's like it's teaching you all of these things that's opposite of what Yahuwah is trying to show you. He's telling you that you should be different, but the world is saying, no, you should be like all of us.
Yeah, and then even with the way that they tell you should dress, as far as wear as little clothes as possible, show as much skin, show off your body, all those things like that. Listen, y'all, Actually, that's close. That's close. That's similar to prostitution. It's not moving in prostitution, but that's similar to the clothes of a prostitute. When you dress, or a stripper as well. But when you dress and everything is showing, everything is revealing. You're actually moving like a slave. Because remember, prostitution is very close to a type of oppression and slavery. A princess doesn't dress like that. I don't care where you at. You can go to Africa, you can go to India, you can go to the Arabian countries, you can go anywhere. When you're talking about nobility, even in the European countries, you go to England. Even the nobility, they are not dressing revealing, because that's the concept of like a prostitute or a harlot as far as dressing revealing. Someone of nobility, a princess, a queen, etc., they're going to be modest. See, we think this modesty thing is just a thing of the Israelite. Actually, the reason I submit that one of the main reasons why the Most High has that as a thing for the Israelites is because we are nobility. He's trying to show us how to move as royalty, because that's how royalty moves. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, you will never see a queen, a princess. I'm talking about you could talk about the most beautiful princess you can think of. She's not gonna dress revealing though. She's gonna know how to look beautiful in modesty. And listen, a son of the Most High, that's what he's gonna want. Dressing revealing, you're gonna get how you gonna get the way what you portraying. You're gonna get the most thirsty dogs. You're gonna get the beep beep. Hey, what's going on with you? Hey, what's your name is? What your name is, man? Can I get your number? You just trying to mind your business. You trying to just do what you need to do. And hey, where you going? Where you finna go? Hey, let me get your number. That's what you gonna get when you just revealing. You ain't gonna get no son of the Most High. Man, how much? Man, look, that stuff be mind-boggling to me though. The Akio be dressing super revealing and then get mad when they get the thirsty dogs run up on them. Get on my nerves. This dude's always coming at me crazy. Dude always coming at me wild. Well, you got to see how your side of it too. Not excusing the dudes, but at the same time, you got to see if there's something you giving off that's making them feel like they can come at you like that. Because I'm telling you right now, I'm a man. I'm a man who's been around for a while, and I'm telling you, someone moving in nobility, them dudes ain't gonna go up to like that. It ain't gonna happen. What you want is, excuse me. Oh, my bad. I didn't want to. I didn't mean to bother you, but I just wanted to ask what your name is. That's what you want. No, say, beep, 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 say. What's your name is? Let me get your number.
So I was just thinking about double honors, Avaman, honors to where honors is due. So I was just thinking about the garments and just kind of the just kind of what we're talking about. And if you know, just kind of thinking back, and if you look at like the award shows or whatever, it's mostly our people that dress like that more so than the other nations. And it makes me think about like when I was growing up in school and they made us watch Roots. That's how the women were. That was something that they did to shame them, to have them have not much clothes on them when they were selling them. And so that's a captive mentality. And then you thinking that you looking through is deception. So that's just what came to my mind.
Shalom, Shabbat shalom, double honors. Going back to, you're talking about mobility, nobility, and the way we dress and the way women dress. And it took me back to what you were saying about that Heisman Trophy winner and his fiance, former wife, and how these owners of these teams, you were saying, Mushal, before about them not just letting them marry anybody, or you're not going to take all this money that we're paying you and put it back into your community. You're going to keep it with us. You're going to keep it right here. So they out there taking care of all their granddaughters, each and every one of them.
That can definitely be a thing in that situation.
So Shammah said, when they told Judah that Tamar played the harlot, it's something that his mind didn't remember what happened to him with his staff. Oh, I think I got what you're saying. Yeah.
It was only 3 months, but see, the thing about it is I think he really had love for Tamar. So I think it wouldn't have been a big deal if it was just one of them Canaanite harlots moving in that. But Tamar, oh no. Oh yeah, no, she got to get judged for that. No, not what? You know, yeah.
So Anthony says he can sing the 12 tribes of Israel song. No, you can't sing the 12 sons. You got to sing the 12 tribes. No, I'm messing with you. Yeah, go ahead. I'm messing with you.
Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, and Asher, Issachar, Zebulun, Joseph, and Benjamin. These are the 12 sons of Israel.
Hallelujah. That's it.
All praise to the Most High. So what we're gonna do is that's everybody, right?
We got 5 more. All right, we're going to run through them. Imayasha said, do not be deceived. Alua is not mocked. For whatever a man sows, that he will also reap. For he who sows to his flesh will of the flesh reap corruption. But he who sows of the Ruach will of the Ruach reap everlasting life. Galatim 6:7-7. Bakir Luvubal. Moral of the story. When you're dealing in deception, there's always somebody that can one-up you in that mindset. Also expect on being deceived as you have deceived others. What you do will come back to you. Yahuwah is still in control. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Shoshone said that was powerful. Shammah said, sounds like Judah was trying to move in Yahuwah's judgment when it came to others, but not when it came to him. That's the thing right there. That's a real thing right there. Bakir Ezra Hadassah about the harlotry, Shoshone Yahu. Why her name show up like that? Oh, that's how you got it in your phone. I see. Okay. Deuteronomy 23:17. There shall be no harlot in the of the daughters of Israel, or a perverted one of the sons of Israel.
Hey, that's Torah.
They not listening.
You know what I'm saying? I think you need to read that again.
Yeah, I'm going to read it again. There shall be no harlot of the daughters of Israel, or a perverted one of the sons of Israel.
That's it. That's it.
Okay. They know. All right. All right.
And this the thing. That surrounds around the temple prostitution. That surrounds around the modern day clubs, the strip clubs and stuff like that too. Yeah. So, yeah.
Ima Uriah, when Judah wanted to get his items back, that place was not known for harlots. Yeah, that's super interesting there.
Yeah. It's like anybody over here.
Yeah. That means he was used to that life. Bakir Ezra Hadassah put the scriptures in here, and that is all.
Rebirth of a nation. Hebrew kingdom building.